Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Tyler Merkovich alongside Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and Week 8's Monday Night Football matchup provides us with two teams atop of the NFC South. That's the Atlanta Falcons at the New Orleans Saints. The Falcons coming off a disappointing loss at Dallas, and New Orleans overcoming a 24-3 deficit in Miami, gets the huge road win to remain undefeated and the class of the NFC Conference. And now the Falcons, how are they going to get things going with the running game? Michael Turner hasn't been himself. The O-line, they're not really making moves this year. And their secondary, it looks depleted, and they really need to shore that up, especially if they're going to be facing Drew Brees. He could pick them apart. What are your keys to victory for Mike Smith?
Well, keys to victory for the Falcons, number one, they're going to have to protect up front. Dallas was able to get pressure on Matt Ryan. You look at Chicago was able to get pressure on Matt Ryan. The Saints are going to bring, Greg Williams is going to bring the pressure. They're going to disrupt whatever they're trying to do with that offense with Turner and Gonzalez and Matt Ryan. So they have to be able to block up front. Otherwise, it's going to be a long day for Matt Ryan. Two, defensively for the Falcons, that secondary has to tighten up, because that's the biggest weakness on that Falcons defense. And you don't want to have a weak secondary when you're playing New Orleans, because that could be a lot of work for the scoreboard operator, because they could really put up points against a weak secondary. Third, in order to slow down the Saints' pressure defense, you're going to have to run right at it. Miami was able to have some success running right at the Saints' defense until they tighten up later on in the game. So Atlanta's going to have to slow down this pressure by running right at it. Those are the keys to victory for the Falcons.
And for New Orleans, this is their turnaround right here. They're secondary. They're making plays, and with the play calling of Greg Williams, they're scoring touchdowns. Darren Sharper is about to surpass Rod Whitson for most return touchdowns for interceptions. He's one behind Rod Whitson. Darren Sharper has 11, and Tracy Porter back from injury. He was a rookie last year from Indiana. He is for real, and they pick up Jabari Greer. They draft Malcolm Jenkins, all these other guys. It's all coming together in the secondary. Give me your keys to victory for Sean Payton, who has a bunch of offensive weapons.
Well, keys to victory for the Saints is easy, because you look at what the Falcons are not good at. Well, what I think perceived to be the Falcons' weakness on offense is their wide receiver core. You look at the Saints' secondary, they should be able to man up on the Falcons' wide receivers and just strictly come after Matt Ryan and be able to tee off on him all day. Second keys to victory for the Saints. You look at, those outside linebackers are going to have to figure out where Tony Gonzalez is on the field. That's Matt Ryan's safety blanket. That's who he wants to go to first. They're going to have to cover Tony Gonzalez and take him out of the game. That's number two. Third, they're going to have to win the special teams battle. Atlanta's going to want to pin them deep. A lot of sky kicks, a lot of directional punts. They're going to have to win that battle to create their field position, because Atlanta, if they can get some momentum going in the game, they can prove to be a tough task. I'm going to go with the Saints at home. This is one of the more hated rivalries in football.
You would know.
The Atlanta and the Falcons, they hate each other. So I go with the Saints at home, because the Saints' strength is their wide receiver core and that passing attack. The Falcons' weakness is their secondary. It might get ugly fast in New Orleans.
But you're still nagging on Roddy White and company. Matt Ryan, he doesn't make bad decisions. You'll see him throw the ball away half the game because he doesn't want to chance it. He's got to start taking some shots on the field, especially if you're going to beat the Saints, who are going to put up at least 30 points in this game, if you would think. I like the Saints also.
You finally learn.
Falcons can keep it close, though. They could keep this division game close, I think. For more, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL.